What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Takara Tomy MP-50 Tigatron from Beast Wars. So this is actually an older figure. It came out in 2020. I'm looking at it now in 2021. But I wanted to take a look at this, and Mr. G. Tony sent this to me. Thanks for sending it so I could take a look at this. Now here is the Tiger mode. Really nicely done from the front, at least. Got the nice deco here for the tiger, the black stripes. You do have the painted green, metallic green eyes. There are whiskers on here, so you can see there's little whiskers on both sides. That's nicely done. You can open up the mouth here, and you get the detail inside there. You've got the red paint with the white for the teeth. That looks nice. You can move the head up and down, so it goes down to there. You can go way up, and then you can go in and out on this joint, so you can get some movement there. Here's the side profile. Not too bad from here either. Pretty nice looking proportions. The legs can rotate here. They can go out to the side, and then you can rotate here at the knee or elbow. And then the paw can go up and down, and it can tilt side to side. So if you want to get some wider stances for attack or whatever, you can do that. You can get the head kind of posed. For the back legs, a little bit less covered here, a little bit uglier. You do have some gaps and panels here. Now these panels are intended to peg in here. I haven't been able to get them successfully pegged in. They just kind of sit there. But there's the back. You do have the tail here. The tail does articulate at 1, 2, 3 points. So you get all that. And you can rotate around. So if you want it facing downwards, you can have that too. But some nice articulation on that tail. The back legs do rotate here at the thigh. Do you get a knee bend? Not really. You don't really get a knee bend. You get a rotation at the foot and in and out angle at the foot. Back legs are a little bit hindered just based on the transformation. But pretty good looking tiger overall. He does come with an accessory, well, 2 accessories. So one is this display base, and unfortunately this doesn't work because I don't have the base. Well, I guess it does work, but I don't have the display to actually put this on. But this would work if we had the, I think it's the Dinobot display base. So basically just peg it in here. Actually, I'm not even sure that fits in there. Yeah, and then you can put that on the base. The other accessory you get, of course, is his gut gun, or they call it Tiger Shot. This does transform, so you can, let's see, open this up here. There we go. I find if you pull right here, it's a little bit easier. Fold this inwards, close that up, and then fold the handle in, and now this is ready to go into his gut. So come to the bottom here. You do have to untransform him quite a bit. So I just wanted to show you, it does come in the box, not installed, so you do have to take all this apart. Unpeg this from here, unpeg this from here. It's quite a bit of transformation just to do this. Also unpeg these from each other. You can open up this. Yeah, it's a lot. And then you take this and get this pegged in right here, and you can see how that makes up his gut. And then we're going to close that all back down and make sure you get all these tabs back in. Now the unfortunate thing about this is the transformation is kind of annoying because there's all these little tabs here, here, here. So going back into Tiger mode is actually more difficult. It does come in the box in Tiger mode, so you are going to get it to, we're going to transform it into robot mode here. But I just wanted to mention that it is actually a little more challenging going back to Tiger mode here. All right, so you get that. You can see how the gun just sort of fits right there. All right, there we go. We have it back together. I will say it's a very annoying connection, and the plastic here is relatively thin, so you don't want to be careful as you're getting those panels apart. But now we have his gut gun stored. Not even sure that was worth it, but you can do that. And sometimes this happens. It looks like he's got a lazy eye, but you just got to rotate that back. Occasionally, as you're messing with it, these eyes will rotate on you. And for a quick size comparison, there it is next to the Masterpiece Optimus Primal. Looks really good together. I do like the scale and the overall aesthetic here together. Alright, now let's get Tigatron transformed into his robot mode. I will say the transformation is not very fun, especially because you've got some thin panels. Just got to be careful. Take your time. Go ahead, close up the mouth. We can just leave this tail back here for now. Come to the bottom here. We're going to unpeg all of these panels. And again, just be careful with these very thin pieces of plastic here. But unpeg these, and then that's going to allow you to take the arms and fold those all the way out. And just leave those there for now. Come to the bottom here. We're going to open up this panel here. So just unpeg it from the inside here. And you might need a spudger or something to get it apart, but it is quite tight. So unpeg from here on the top. Fold this panel up. Same on this side. Unpeg from here. Fold this panel up and fold that in. That's going to allow you to take this apart and kind of fold the arms outwards. That's going to give you space to work. I might as well take care of this now. This is going to accordion back. I'll be very careful with this very thin joint. Just move it gently, rock it back, and then peg it in there. Okay. Same on this side. Unpeg from here gently, and then rock it back and peg it in. So those arms are pretty much ready, but work on the rest. Take the head here. You can see it kind of already came out. We're going to unpeg this gut gun, which we'll use. I'll show you a little bit later. Come to this back panel here, and we're going to unpeg this from here. It is pegged in on the sides, and these teeny tiny tabs right there. This whole back is going to lift out. It's pegged in right there, holding on to a tab there. And this entire thing is going to flip around and sit the other way. So basically you want to get it all the way around. Come to here, fold this downwards. You have to unpeg this from here. It's a little bit tight, so just be careful of that transition there. If you haven't already, fold this down. I guess I had that down the wrong direction. It's supposed to fold flat for the Tiger mode. And flip that out. So you want that tab sticking out. Get that tabbed in. Take the tail, fold that down, and then fold it up, back up on itself. Be careful with this tail. It does not feel very robust. Actually, you want to rotate it around. And then get it to sit nice and flat like that. At least I think that's how it goes. All right, that should all accordion down. Take these panels here on the side. These are going to accordion inwards and just sit like that. All right, so that's what you should have done when you're all done with that back piece. All right, now we can take care of these shoulders, and these are also kind of weird. So get the shoulders vertically out, but then the legs rotated downwards. Straighten up this panel here. Straighten this, and then rotate the paw. Same on this side. Straighten out that leg. Straighten out the paw, and then rotate the paw. And there's a little tab right here. It's going to go into a slot on the back of the other arm. But first, before we do that, I want to take care of this. So this is actually going to flip around the other way. So fold it this way and then rotate on that. And this has a tab right here. So you want that to meet up with this. And it's a little bit weird, but it's got to get the right angle. So it's kind of a weird thing to get right. I basically have something like that. And if you can't get it lined up, that means you don't have the arm either rotated or angled properly. But that should be like that. Then you're going to take the entire thing, and on this side, same thing. Make sure you have that tail centered and that backpack pressed in. And that's part of the problem with this transformation. Things keep moving on you as you're messing with it. All right, so same on this side. This is going to rotate the other side. You can get that tab pushed into the side. So right there. And then get this rotate it inwards and tab together down at the bottom. And that's really basically it. That's how it fits together. Beast Wars. That's how Beast Wars works. Alright. This came out. Let's get this back in. Okay. Now come to the front and we'll take care of these legs. These legs are interesting. So go ahead and unpeg the legs from the bottom here. When you put these back in, you want to angle them and then tab them like that. So just be careful with those. Go ahead and rotate this knee down. We're going to pull out from here. So you basically push this down. Open up this panel. Allow you to rotate that knee so that you have a straight leg. Lift this up and out of the way. We're going to rotate the waist 180 degrees. And then I'll allow you to take this front hip skirt panel thingy and peg that in on both sides. Alright, same on this side. Go ahead and rotate that knee down. Pull down on this. You're really just extending this joint right here. And then rotate that and you can get this out of the way. So rotate the knee so you have the little tab thing in the front. Take these hips and the white parts are going to rotate to the front, so they're on a little rotating piece. They actually do click into place, so it's a little ratchet, which is interesting. All right, rotate this foot so you have the green part on the front. Let's see, so come to the back here, open up this panel here, and you might need a spudger if you can't get in there, but open that up. That's going to allow you to take this entire piece and fold this out very carefully. This is a very thin piece of plastic, so be careful. But fold that down, rotate this around, rotate the paw downwards, and then rotate this foot out, and then the paw in. So you should get that nice flat foot. Then you can close this side down, come to this side, fold this knee piece up, and then this is going to sit right into here. So get that all lined up and peg that in. And that's going to make the front of the foot. Rotate the foot so you have the bigger part in front. The last step here on this leg is we're going to get this kind of stored on his back. So fold it up like that and then tab it in right here. And that's going to hold it together, or supposed to hold it together. All right, so that's one leg done. Let's do the other one. Same thing, open this up, come to the back, open up this panel here, carefully pull this out and fold the leg down, being careful not to snag this on anything. Rotate, make sure you bring it all the way down, and then rotate this around, get that knee all the way up, get this tabbed in here. And that can be challenging, but should be a nice and smooth surface like that. Rotate the foot around, rotate the paw down, and then fold out the heel. There's a little place to grab there. And hold dog paw back in there, or the tiger paw. And we got to straighten out these knee. All right, come to the back here, close up this panel. You can make this into a little panel, and then that's going to tab into the back of the leg. So those are his calves back there. Pretty cartoon accurate. All right, lastly, we'll take care of his head. So open up this panel here, the green panel. So that's 90 degrees upwards. And then this is going to accordion down in. So get the green piece, accordion down inwards. Make sure you have this in the right position too. Everything kind of gets in the way, but get this down, and then this is going to accordion downwards and peg in right here. So you have to get that whole piece down. And then the head, there's two little green pieces that are going to tab into the side there. So get that tabbed in. If you don't have it lined up, it can be tricky, and it actually sometimes comes out. Right, and then come to the front here, and you can see one eye already kind of moved. These eyes sometimes move on their own, but rotate it to the orange side if it's not already there. Close that head back up. And there you have Tigatron in his robot mode. Really nice looking paint and detail on him. Let's take a look up close. We'll put the G1 cartoon there so you can look for yourself. I think they did a good job getting it to look like the cartoon. I was not so sure about these panels here on the arms, but he does have those panels. Maybe they're not this big, but it does have the panels. It does have that metallic green. He does have the metallic green paint all throughout, the legs, the waist here, the shoulders, the face. Here's the back. It does have the arms that are pegged together, and that is pretty much show accurate there. So really good looking. The issue is more of his articulation and joints. So since we're talking about it, let's go over the articulation. So the head is on a rotating swivel, so it rotates all the way around. Sometimes as you're manipulating it, these pegs on the neck come out, so you gotta just push that back down. The head can go up to there, and it actually gets pretty far, but again, it'll start unpegging there. And you can rotate it from side to side. The shoulders go up and down on this inner joint and on this outer joint, so you can rotate it all the way up to there. Your rotation all the way around at the bicep. Rotation here at the bicep. Single joint elbow gets you the full bend. This panel can move around and kind of get out of the way. Your rotation at the wrist, it's a little bit on the loose side, unfortunately. But your hands here, you have a pivot at the base of the hand, and then you have a single pin for the fingers, and then the pointer finger is on a separate joint. Unfortunately, they're this bent look, so you can't actually point. So there's not really any point to having the pointer finger separate. And then the thumb is fixed. You can't move that. Coming down to the waist, you have a rotation here at the waist. No ab crunch on this guy. The legs go up to there. Now, if you move this out of the way, you can maybe get a little bit more, but that does kind of hinder his movement. Back to here, again, hindered by the sculpt, so it doesn't go very far back. Out to the side on friction, relatively loose friction. You have a rotation at the upper knee, rotation at the lower knee, and unfortunately that rotation at the lower knee causes a problem. So this joint actually was very loose, so I had to tighten this screw right here. But then there's also rotation here, which is fine, but then there's a bend. So the knee bend gets you a little past 90 degrees, but then there's a joint here. So if you straighten out the knee and you put him kind of straight forward, he tends to flop around on that joint. And it's a little strange. You kind of have to get it balanced on that floppy joint. I don't know why they put that there. They shouldn't have had a movement in this direction. Should have only been a rotation. But because of that, he ends up having balancing issues due to those knees. So you do have to pull out the upper knee a little bit to get him to balance on those. Continuing down, you can move this knee pad in and out. The feet can tilt all the way that way, forward that much, nothing backwards. And then it rotates at the base. Now for accessories, you do get quite a bit of stuff. So first off, you get his gut gun, which we saw earlier. I believe they call it the Tiger Shot, which in the American show we called it the gut gun, but whatever. This is the Tiger Shot, and nicely painted. It's got the pink, the white up here, the green handle, then of course the tiger look down there. Go ahead and get it into here. And looks nice. Good looking gun. The problem is the weight will make this wrist fail, so you kind of have to pose it and just get it in a position where it's not going to fall, but it does tend to fall on you. You also get his Tiger cannon. So this is intended to mount inside this panel right here. It'll only mount on this side, it won't go on this side. So you can see there's a little tab on the end here, so you're just going to get that mounted on here. And now we can be using both the Tiger Shot and the Tiger Cannon, however you want. I mean, you can put this in the other hand too, but nice little weapons there. I do wish that it just stayed on a little bit better and these panels kind of locked in place or something like that. You also get the Megatron head puzzle cube, so basically it rotates around. He can hold this, but it's kind of ineffective due to the shape of the hands, but it does rotate and turn into the Megatron head. It's actually a really nice looking head. But that's from that one episode where he had this. Speaking of one episode accessories, here is the hacking device. So you've got some silver paint with gold for the claw or the device, and then here you've got black and silver, and you got translucent purple for the actual wire. So that's going to plug into his head right here. It's a little slot on the side of his head, and then he can be holding this or doing whatever you want with this, getting ready to plug it into some bad guys' weapons or computer, whatever. There you go. You also get alternate faces. So you get 4 alternate faces. All of them actually pretty nice looking. We'll start off with this one. So this one is actually light piped with the blue eyes. So if you don't want the red eyes, you can put the blue eyes in. So in order to change the face out, you just grab up here on the horns, pull it up, out and up. And then we'll start with the blue face here. So there's the blue eyes. It does have light piping back here, but unfortunately it just doesn't make its way through. So you end up with the dead eyes. Unfortunately, even though they designed it with the hole there to get it in there, you can't get it. Straight face. So just a regular looking face. Here is sort of a happy or laughing face. Pretty nice looking there. Here's more of a standard, just grimacing or regular battle face. I actually like this one a lot, so I'll probably leave that one on there. All of them are really well painted and designed, and they look good. And for size comparison, there is Tigatron next to the Masterpiece Optimus Primal. I really like this Primal, but looks good. He's obviously taller. I think it's actually done in scale to the show, so looks good. So final thoughts on Masterpiece Tigatron. Let's start with the positives. I think the paint job looks really nice. The metallic green, the deco for the tiger mode looks really good. And then the white paint, all of that's really done. And the faces are all painted and sculpted very nicely. All of the accessories look good. I like the hacking device, the gut gun, and the tiger cannon. All of that looks nice and works well. Even this little puzzle thing looks good. Negatives wise, the articulation is very, very poorly done. Due to the design of these knees, you can see I just have him in this awkward pose. He doesn't balance well in a standing pose, and to get him into dynamic poses, you kind of have to fake it because you got to move this thigh piece out of the way because it won't bend very far without that. So to get him in this crouching pose is just, you're moving stuff all over the place and it just looks awkward. So articulation wise and posing wise, I think it's a weakness in the design. I'm not sure why they did this double knee joint here. It's a little strange. The plastic also feels a little bit on the thin side. I would be careful transforming this back and forth. There's a couple parts, especially in the tiger mode, very, very thin pieces and very thin tabs. So you just want to be careful with that. But other than that, I think it's a pretty nice looking version of Tigatron. It's kind of appropriate right now to take a look at this because we just got the version of Kingdom Tigatron. So you can kind of see the more retail chug version compared to the Masterpiece. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.